Hey, what's up guys? This is Australian Strongman here. Today I'm just going to talk about what I believe is the exercise, the number one exercise that every strongman should be doing, and that is the front squat. There's a few reasons why you should be doing front squats. The obvious reason is because it is a great carryover to pretty much all strongman events. It's going to strengthen your core. So if you don't have access to any strongman equipment, and say you have a home gym or something like that, the number one thing, the next best thing to strongman equipment is a barbell with a squat rack, and you'll be able to do front squats, because that is going to be the greatest exercise you can do when you haven't got strongman equipment, and it's going to carry over to your events very nicely. So you see this here, this was sent to me by the greatest strongman that Australia's ever produced, and the first thing he asked me when we talked was, how much can you front squat? He was a big advocate for front squatting, and yeah, there's been no one in the country that can match him. So yeah, I aspire to be like him. Yeah, that's a great role model. Yeah, and Rongo Keane also, he's a big influence on me front squatting too. So yeah, he also has the log press Australian record, so there you go. So yeah, I'm using a bar here that's pretty much has no knurling left. It's all worn off. It's rusty. I think it's bent as well. So it's a terrible, terrible bar, but you know what? The same guy over there is also the one who told me that you don't want to train on the best equipment all the time. Sometimes it's good to train with the worst equipment, because you know there's value in having things hard for you sometimes. You know, not everything needs to be a walk in the park. You know, sometimes it's good to have a bit of, you know, discomfort in your training. So you know, take it from the best. So yeah, we'll begin here. Some front squatting technique, how you should be breathing and whatnot. And yeah, we'll go from there. We'll work up to a heavy single today. You'll be able to watch my front squat session and see how I do it. So here I've got 70 kilos on the bar. So I'm going to start with warm up with this. Now, there's a few ways you could do front squats. A good way to do it is to do the rack position where your hands would be under, like that. But I don't have mobility for that. If you do have mobility for that, that's probably a good way to do it. You know, a lot of us bigger guys just haven't got the shoulder mobility to get that rack position. So there's that way. There's also a way where you can tie up straps around it and kind of, you know, do it that way. The second most common one, which is the arm crossover, which is the way I do it. So I got the bar here. There's a little bit of knurling here. I'll put my hand over and have it about a centimetre. If you come close here, come here. About a centimetre away from the knurling. That's about where I grip the bar. And the same on the other side. Go around like that. And now I've got my position here, my grip. What I'll do is I'll step forward just past the bar. Get under. And I'll tuck it. Basically, when you put your arms up like this, get your shoulders here. And if you feel there's a little pocket right here. So between the front of your neck and your shoulders, there's a little pocket there, and that's where you want the bar to sit. If it sits any further forward, you're going to have a very hard time trying to front squat heavy weight. It's most likely going to roll out and you're going to lose it. You don't want it too far up against your neck either, because then it's going to choke you and you can't breathe. So this gets harder when you get bigger, but you know, you find ways around it. It's different for everyone. Everyone's got different anatomy. So what I'll do is like this. I'll get one big breath. Alright, so a few things, there's a few cues. So I get my first breath when I go under it. This is very, very important, because how you pick up the bar is going to determine how your front squat's going to go. So when you pick it up, you want to make sure you have a big, big belly of breath, and all this is rigid and tight. And you have your body upright, as most upright as possible, because if you pick it up and you're a little bit hunched over, it's going to be pretty much impossible to fix that. So you're going to walk out down like that, your breathing's going to be messed up, you're not going to be able to breathe, you're going to end up failing the rep most likely, or just hurting yourself. So big, big belly of breath, and it's important that you keep that breath. There's a video that Brian Elsher did about breathing as well in the squat, and he goes more into depth about this, how your breathing should be. I'd highly recommend you look at that. In short, he's basically saying, imagine your core as a Coke can. So you want that to be full, and what is it called when you have like your all the air concealed in something and it's very tight, it's all compact? What do you call that?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, so if a Coke can's empty, you can squeeze it and it's very fragile. So if you squeeze a Coke can when it's empty, it's just gonna crush. So you want the opposite of that effect. So you want to have a full belly, keep all the air tight inside you, So it's very, very rigid. Strong core is very, very important, and front squat is crucial. It's crucial in front squats to have a strong core. It's very, very important. Again, I'll take my breath, I'll get under, elbows up, as high as I can get my elbows up. Keep your posture very straight, don't hunch over. I'll walk out, I'll adjust my feet position. This is gonna be different for everyone, depending on your hip size and whatnot, and it's how you like to squat. So what I do, I basically go a little bit wider than my hips, not too much. Yeah, and then I'll get another big breath before I go down and do the squat. And always when you squat, you want to sit into it. You want to go below parallel. You never want to go just parallel. You want to actually sit into it. So basically, if I show you here, when you squat, you sit all the way down like that. As I was saying before with the core, it's very, very important you have that big belly of breath, because if you don't, you're going to go down and you're going to collapse. Your body's just going to hunch forward and you're going to lose the bar. It happens every time. And one of the other reasons you want to squat very low is because it simulates a stone load very well. So you notice when you get to very heavy stones, a lot of people end up loading it, and when they can just lap it, they end up sitting in a very, very deep squat position to roll it in. And you're in a very, very deep hole, and it's hard to get out of that. And if you haven't got a strong front squat, it's going to be even harder for you to get out of it. So, you know, it's going to help everything. It's going to help all your events. It's going to help your stone loading. It's going to help your yoke. It's going to help your farmer's walk, and it's going to help your overhead even. So it carries over to pretty much everything. We'll add more weight on. And yeah, we'll see how we go. It's one of those exercises where it's very, very difficult to have bad technique on, because if you have bad technique and you hunch forward, you'll just lose the bar. If you're doing it right, you'll know about it because you'll be getting your reps. See, even I make mistakes sometimes. So that was a bad walkout. I tapped this and it put me off balance, but I'm still very strong, so I got it.
Beast. Beast.
So there you have it. That's how you do a front squat. I hope this video helped you out. I also recommend you go watch Brian Alshu's videos, his tutorials on front squatting. He's very good at giving information on how to front squat. This is a staple for strongmen. I don't care what anyone says, this is a great exercise for strongmen and everyone should be doing it. So yeah, that was our session today. 280 kilos. So no knee wraps, no PEDs, not even a training block. This wasn't even peaked at all. This is just my year-round strength. Just imagine if I ate beef every meal every day.